Hello guys, this is the third video in a mini-series of last 3 days on this YouTube channel related to Laravel reports. And a third example I wanted to show you, what if you want to have a report with columns based on days, for example. So for example, average expenses by category by certain date, which may be 0 in some cases. And let me show you the approach we came up with. So basically you need to have two data sets. First data set is the actual expenses grouped by category name in this case. In fact, grouped by two parameters, date and name. But the first key is actually name, so that group by is additional group by on top of getting the data. And then another data set is for columns. So columns are dynamic. Some column may have no data, so it could be zeros here for all the categories, but that column should be still present. For that, it's pretty good to use a class called CarbonPeriod. So on top of Carbon, which is present in Eloquent by default, you can use CarbonPeriod, which creates range of dates. And this is how you use that. So for each date range, this is a date, and then you can format that date however you want. So for example, in this case, the column name is the day number, calendar number of day. And then for each of the categories, so for each expenses, probably a better variable here would be category name. Then you show that category name here, and then all the expenses of that category are in this collection. And then you loop again through the date range, so column, column, column. And then if you find the data of the expenses for that category with that date, again, date, but formatted not with just a day, but with all the date. And this where doesn't query the database anymore. It queries the collection of expenses data. And then you say, if there is a first present, then we get the total. Otherwise, we get that to 0. And in my case, all the numbers are in cents. So we divide that by 100 to get the actual data in dollars and cents. So yeah, this is just a small quick example how you can combine Eloquent collection grouped by a few factors, CarbonPeriod as date range, and then mix it all together in for each, querying the collection instead of database one more time. What do you think about this approach? Have you ever used something like that? I personally like to work with Eloquent and Laravel collections in general, especially if you have some multiple operations. This is not present in this example, but if you have multiple operations to perform on the collection, and I have a separate course just about that. So this is in the list, so filter map each if you want to perform multiple operations on the same set of data. I've gathered 15 real open source examples from GitHub and demonstrated to you in this course. So I will link that course in the description below if you want to watch those examples. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.